What justification did Senator Wong, our Foreign Minister, use to disagree with Michaelia Cash's motion? I mean, surely carrying a sign like that, wearing a keffiyeh, making stuff up in the Senate deserves some sort of sanction rather than just, you know, a tap on the shoulder, a tap on the hand.
Well, I think that's right, and they had given her some sanction as well as stopping her from representing the Senate on any committees. But it was a sign of the lack of leadership that Penny Wong has displayed, that she didn't back Michaelia Cash's call to suspend her. I think a suspension is the right sort of thing, because what we see again and again from the Greens is a sense that the laws and the conventions of our society don't apply to them. And I think it's time that law-abiding people and people who value the dignity of our institutions stood up for our institutions. And we just never see enough of that in our country.
I mean, this is a difficult question for you, but if you rang her or went round and visited her office and sat down and said, listen, I'd like to have a chat to you about your views on what's happening in Palestine, and I'd like to have a chat to you about the facts of where the supplies of food are and why they're not getting through, and all of these allegations that Israel is committing genocide and trying to starve children to death, would she be open to a discussion, or is there just a closed book on this?
I don't know, Steve. I think the Greens on this have been completely one-sided. We all know what has to happen to bring what's happening in Gaza to an end, and that is for Hamas to release the hostages. There have been hostages there for nearly 2 years that they captured on October 7, and we want to see a Gaza with Hamas playing no role in its future. That has been our policy for a long time. That's what needs to happen, and that's the best way to resolve the conflict. No one wants to see people starve. People want to see the aid get through, but Hamas is the big obstacle here, and we shouldn't forget that.
Julian, obviously I was just speaking with Barnaby Joyce, talking about his stand on net zero. He's on the backbench, so he's able to put forward a private member's bill. He wants Australia to walk away from net zero. You are supportive, in my memory, of the Australia being connected to net zero. You stood on your principles and walked away from a front bench job during the Voice campaign. If Susan Lee were to change the Liberal Party's support of net zero, what would you do?
Well, we've got a process that's in place because, as Susan said many times, our values are not up for review, but our policies are. And we've established a special process to look at our energy policy. And that process is being led by the Shadow Minister for Energy, Dan Tehan. It involves people from the Liberal Party and the National Party, and all of us, myself included, and Barnaby too, have the chance to make submissions to that committee so that we've got a policy that we can take to the next election that will reduce power prices, because under this government power prices have gone up and up and up, improve reliability and also deal with emissions issues as well. So that's the process that we've put forward, and that's the process that we're all going through at the moment.
It's a divisive issue. It has caused the coalition trouble in the past. How hopeful are you that you can come to some agreement with the Nationals and move beyond this? Because Labor's just going to make a meal of it if you go back to pulling each other's arms off over this issue, aren't they?
Well, the biggest issue, of course, Steve, is getting prices down. This is one of those issues that really affects family budgets. We all remember before the last election, the Prime Minister promised he'd cut energy bills by $275. That was one of the biggest lies that's ever been told in politics, because all we've seen is prices go up and up and up. And families are struggling to meet their energy bills. We're in the middle of winter at the moment. People are having to make decisions about whether to put food on the table or turn their heating on. We are one of the richest countries on the planet. We should be able to do. We shouldn't have to put people in that situation. And that's why we need a sensible energy policy. And I have great confidence in Dan Tehan and the team that we will arrive at a sensible energy policy between now and the next election.
Good on you, Julian. Thanks for staying up for us. Appreciate it very much.